Hey guys, it's Pete Craigslist Hunter over here. Yes, it's been about a week since I made a video. Sorry guys, apologize. You can probably still hear it a little bit in my voice. I had this nasty cold, some kind of flu. It was just absolutely horrible. But today, finally, I feel a little bit better. And I thought I would make this exciting video for you. Not many people talk about this. And I think it's a great opportunity that actually 2018 you can implement this into your eBay business. Even if you are not into electronics, I think it's something worth dabbling in. If you are a clothing seller and you want to make that extra 20-30 grand, really 20-30 grand, that's what I'm talking about, just selling few of these, or you're a brand new seller, you want to jump into to eBay reselling, this is a great opportunity. There's two different trends that I'm excited about talking about because nobody really mentions this stuff, and it's hot right now, and I think it's going to be hot for the next few years. And you can find this stuff almost everywhere, every thrift store, every garage sale, all the time. I mean, like, I'm not even kidding. I got them set up here. You can't see it right now. And I will get into detail to this stuff. Why is it trending? What's happening? How much money you can get out of it? And potentially how easy it is to find these and overall ship these and everything about them, test these. So let's get into this. All right, guys, are you excited? I know I am. So I want you to go get yourself a cup of coffee or cup of tea or grab a beer, because this is not going to be a 3-minute video. I'm going to be talking about some crazy stuff here that I think is going to blow your mind away, that you think that this stuff is dead, and it's not, and you can make some great money. So, ready? Let's do this. All right, guys, so let's do this. Let's talk about these two formats here. And I know everybody's gonna say, Pete, you are crazy. Both of these formats are dead. On the left, we have a VHS here. On the right, we have tape decks. A lot of people know and are familiar. First, we're gonna talk about VHS and why they're hot and why you can make a lot of money on these. A lot of people are familiar with the VHS DVD combos. We all know they sell pretty good. Like, for example, this Sony VHS combo all day long, 50-60 bucks, even without the remote. This particular unit, I do have a remote for it. So everybody knows about these. But it seems like everybody is neglecting regular VHSs. And I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about them, what's happening right now. End of 2015 was the last company who was making actual VHS players. No more. They're done. Like, done. Nobody produces actual VHS players anymore on the market. Sony's out, Hitachi's out, Toshiba's out. All these brands that were making them massively back in the day completely fade out. There was even some Chinese companies for the last couple of years. They were unknown brands, they were pushing them. They're done too. So this format technically is dead, but the demand is huge because of baby boomers, people that can't get over this technology. They love it. They have huge collection of movies on VHSs and they're hot. They're trending like crazy right now. Just go punch in on eBay right now VCR players and see how many are available, and then punch in the completed listings for VCR players and you're gonna be blown away. Now there's a little curve to this that you have to learn, right? Which brands to look for and what sells good, what not. But two major things that you need to know. 4 heads and higher will sell very, very good. Like this Hitachi 6-head unit will probably sell between $50 to $60, even without the remote. You get a remote for it and you get 70 bucks for this unit. So this is one of those items that I think it will be trending for the next few years, just because Not enough supply, but a huge demand still for them. Great opportunity to make some killing. Why? Because there's every single thrift store that you walk in, you'll find these. Every other garage sale, somebody's selling this. And you can even create your own way of getting this stuff. I mean, you can go out and talk to, pawn shops in your area. They're not buying this stuff. They don't want it. But if you go and talk to the manager and tell him, hey, listen, start buying these. Buy these for a couple bucks and I'll double your money. Guys, you'd be surprised how much money is in actually VHS and VCRs. Crazy. And I'm going to get in also to the detail how to sell them, that you can move them faster than anybody else. So now let's jump into to the tape decks. This is super interesting. All right, guys, you're gonna say it again. Pete, you are crazy. You are nuts. What the hell are you talking about? Tape decks? This is definitely dead technology, right? Yes, it is. It is dead technology. It was booming in 70s, 80s, and throughout 90s till CD player came out. But it's back and it's trending huge, and I'll tell you guys why it's trending big time. Because of some of the TV shows that lately popped up on Netflix, like 13 Reasons Why, which is all about tapes. And it's bringing the memories back, and people want to get into this stuff. By the way, if you haven't seen that movie, actually, 13 Reasons Why, I highly recommend it. Mini series on Netflix. A fantastic movie, fantastic series. Another show like Stranger Things, that it's happening late 70s throughout the 80s, right? It's bringing all these memories. They're showing all the old equipment in those movies, and I think that's why is one of the reasons that it's trending. Plus, a lot of audiophile guys, they want that equipment back, especially the higher end units. I'm not kidding you guys. Go in on eBay right now and punch in cassette decks, and then see how many are on the market and how many are actually selling. Look at the completed listings. Now, we're going to be dealing with two kinds of decks here, a single deck and double deck. About, I would say, 60-70% of the time, especially in thrift stores, you're going to find these double decks. And double decks are usually going to be a lower grade units. Single decks, that's where the money is, and depending on a brand. Now, don't get me wrong, double decks will still sell and will sell for good money, but big money is in single decks. If you start, just for example, type in brands like Iowa, Akai, Nakamichi, Tenderberg. If you ever run into those, you're gonna be blown away how much they go for. And you can usually buy these like super cheap. At my local thrift stores, any of these cassette decks here, I'm finding for $3, $4, $5, $6 at the most. At the garage sales, same thing. Once again, you can go and talk to local pawn shops. They are not buying this too. They shying away from this because this doesn't move for them. That's what they think, because they don't realize that this is trending right now. I think 2018, far as this format goes, it's gonna be huge. Huge money to be made. You can talk to these pawn shops and tell them, hey, listen, if somebody comes in with cassette decks, buy them. I'll buy them off you. I'll double your money. And you'll be blown away how much money you can make on these. And even the double decks, even though they're cheaper, most of them you're gonna find from Sony, Kenwood, Yamaha, Technics. Technics used to make all kinds of double decks. Those will still bring good money. There's nothing wrong with $30, $40, $50 unit. Now the single units, single cassette decks, the ones that can operate, the chrome tapes, the metal tapes, they have the Dolby on them. Those can go 100 and up. There's units that actually sell for hundreds of dollars. Of course, yeah, they're gonna be harder to find, but it's just incredible what's happening right now. So I highly recommend that you guys look into this. Now, of course, you gotta get yourself familiar how these operate, and you need to learn a little bit how to test them. They are notorious, if they're older, that some of the belts will rot on them and they will not run correctly. But most of the thrift stores do have the policies that you can return stuff. So get it set up, test them at home. If it doesn't work, bring it back. But some of the units are even worth a lot of money for parts if you got the correct models. So it's always worth picking them up. Watch some YouTube videos on these, how to test them. It's not difficult. Same thing with VHS tapes. Super easy actually to test. Now let me talk about a little bit right now how you should present these when you're selling them, and how much it's going to improve your sell-through rate, the way I'm going to show you, and you're going to stand out of the crowd, and you're going to make your sales a lot quicker. So let's talk about that. All right, so we have a unit here by itself, and it would be a nice clean picture, right? You take it like this and it shows everything, but that's not enough. What I do, and let me turn this unit actually around, just so you guys can see it here. On the back you see the connection, white, red, and yellow, and all it takes is just the one cable. You don't have to include two. This is what I do. I will add a cable on top of it, that the unit comes with the cable. So that solves the problem already for the customer who's buying. Oh great, there's a cable to go with it. Then on top of it, if you can, include the manual. Now this is not the manual for this unit, but there's a couple websites that you can go out there and download pretty much for any equipment out there, PDF manuals, and then print them out. It will take you a few minutes, and then you add this to the pile. Okay, then on top of it, to make it even more interesting, we always keep it on a side. We always have sealed media, either VHS or regular tapes. This is what I do. Then I'll add it to the side, extra VHS tape. Now look how this presents itself right now. Somebody is like, oh, I'm getting the manual, I'm getting the cables, and I'm getting extra tape. Now this looks interesting. And really, this doesn't cost much. You find these all the time, and we keep them on a side always just for that purpose. Yes, you can sell it alone, but just by putting this, you know, like a bundle here, I think of 7 or 8 tapes last time I bought for like $5. So basically it's costing me extra $1 here, maybe 50 cents for the cable, nothing to print the manual, and all of a sudden, instead of getting $35 for this unit, you're getting 60. You guys can make it even more appealing if you are willing to spend a few extra dollars, but it will guarantee you a sale if you go on eBay and you find a remote control for this particular unit and you spend extra $8, $9, $10. Have it shipped to you, and then you add that, you get a full package, guarantee you unit sells instantly. People love presentation like this. So I mean, remotes are not necessary, but they definitely do help to sell the units a lot quicker. So it's a great way of presenting everything and getting that extra $1, because now if you do a combo like this with the remote, instead of getting, you know, that $35-$40, you're gonna get $60-$70 for the unit. You'll be very surprised how presentation like this stands out as they're going through all the units that there are available. Now let's talk about the decks. All right, so here we have the Kenwood double deck. Same scenario, right? You have it tested already, you know it's running. There's few things that people don't do with this unit that will help you sell it. And number one is take pictures of the door open and actually showing a head inside. I see only maybe 10% of people doing that. It's very important. Now the second thing is you're gonna also add goodies to this unit as you're selling. On the back of them, you're always gonna see in and out for left and right channel. These are just the regular cables red and white jacks. Now you're gonna add set of 2 of these, and you're gonna set it on top to help sell this unit. Now you're building that confidence, right, for the buyer. You're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna add the manual. You're gonna print out a manual and add to it. And then you slam a nice 30K or Maxwell tape right next to it. And I'll tell you what, people eat this up. Oh, I'm getting a free tape. Same story again with the tapes. I get these for peanuts. You can find them, right? So maybe you got 20 cents, 40 cents, 50 cents in a tape. It will make a huge difference how you're presenting this stuff, and will stand out. And you're gonna make, instead of selling this unit really for $35 again, this unit is probably worth about 30 bucks. This Kenwood, actually 30 bucks. But with a presentation like this, I can probably squeeze out another $20. So both presentation VHS and index, this really makes a huge difference. Now 99% of the tape decks will not have a remote control for them, so you don't have to worry about that. Alright guys, so let's talk a little bit about shipping these items, because I know lots of people are gonna say, oh, I don't want to mess with this, it's a problem with shipping. It's not a problem. If you're making a problem, it's a problem, but it's not. See, everybody wants to mess only with those little items. They're under 16 ounces. You throw them into the baggie and you ship it out. This is where the advantage comes in this eBay reselling game. 90% of the people don't want to deal with this stuff. So you already have advantage if you are willing to do this. These units are not heavy. They're not super bulky. You just have to have a proper material to pack them, proper size boxes. And I tell you, hundreds that I sold in the last couple years, maybe couple problems that I have, that they're damaged. They're not that bad at all. Let me explain a little bit how you should be packing them and shipping them. Now you guys gonna ask, where do I get boxes for these? You can do it 3 different ways, right? You can be a cheap ass like me and you can go dumpster diving and have a huge selection of boxes at all times and styrofoam and bubble wrap. That's what I do. Or you can order, like from New Line, have it delivered to you, specific boxes, sizes. Most of these units are going to be roughly the same sizes, so you can use the same boxes for them, long as you have the space of about 2 to 3 inches on each side of the unit, so you have enough room for a bubble wrap and everything, or styrofoam. So you can order that. Then you can build in that cost of that into each listing, right? Each box shouldn't cost you really more than $1, and a little bit of bubble wrap, you can incorporate that into the price or shipping cost. That's why it's called shipping and handling. Or you can just go to Walmart or Home Depot, whatever, and buy your boxes that way. There's a lot of different ways of doing it. Myself, I ship so many different oddball items that are big, that for me actually is pretty convenient to go once a week and dumpster dive and bring the full truckload. I usually bring about 200 boxes at the time, set them up, I'm good for a week. Next week I'll do the same thing. That's how I do it. As you guys can actually see, this unit is not that big. It's only about 17 inches wide, and most of the VCRs are not that deep. They're only about 10-12 inches deep maybe, and they're actually very light. This unit by itself is about 6 pounds, and most of them are gonna range between that 6 to 8 pounds. Then you add a box on top of it, another couple pounds, and some bubble wrap, and you're probably gonna be in that range between, I wanna say, 8 to 12 pounds. Here's the thing that you need to do, and people do understand who buy this stuff. You don't have to do free shipping. I mean, you can play that game, right? That you build the price of shipping into your actual price, and you can present that as a free shipping. But people understand that this is not small item, it costs to ship. General rule of thumb, which you can be really safe about it, just charge $2. $2 per pound. So for example, if this whole unit with the box will be about 10 pounds, you can easily charge $20 for shipping and people will pay, and you should have no problem. Let's say shipping like me from Chicago to, for example, Texas or California for around 20 bucks, FedEx. 90% of the time you're going to be shipping this FedEx because USPS will just overcharge you. USPS for this is going to be probably about $35 to $38 versus, you know, FedEx that it's going to be about 18 to 20 bucks. So same thing with this unit. They're a little bit bigger, a little bit heavier. This is going to be probably in a range between 12 to 16 pounds depending on a unit, but same situation. Just charge $2 roughly per pound and you should be safe. I know another thing you guys gonna say, Pete, but what about the returns? Actually, believe it or not, my return rate on any electronics and this kind of stuff is only about 2%. I'm actually below 2% right now. So it's not bad. And I'll tell you a little trick how you handle this stuff. There's gonna be times when somebody wants to return, so even if it's 2%, right? Let's say you sell 100 of these units a month, and 2 of them you're gonna get the return request. If it's a cheaper unit, if this, for example, unit right here, you picked it up for $3 at a thrift store, right? You added a tape, you added a cable, you got $4 in it, and it sold for $35. You shipped it out, there's an issue, they want to return it. Give them the money back. Just give them the money back, don't take the return. Nice. And move on. I tell you why, because first of all, if the unit is broken, and sometimes will happen, it will happen in shipping or something really doesn't work, something got messed up, it's not worth your time getting the unit back. You lost $4, move on. By the time you get it back, retest it and everything, you can already go out, buy another unit and sell it. Now there's times that you will want to accept the return, especially when it comes to cassette decks, the tape decks, because you will sell units there will be over $100, and those you want back. And I'll tell you why. Because a lot of times, let's say you sold a nice Marantz tape deck for $125 and somebody got it, got damaged, whatever. By getting it back, you potentially can still sell it as parts for at least $30, $40. So it might be worth for you to get it back, depends on the shipping, to get it back, and you can still flip it and resell it and still recover your money and make a couple bucks on top of it. So you gotta play the game to see if it's worth your time. Now again, if you sold the deck for $35 and you only had, $4 or $5 in it, forget it. Give them the money, refund, move on, list another one. The time that you're gonna spend on this, it's not worth it a lot of times. And I wouldn't stress out. I mean, it's part of the business. This is what we gotta deal with. Returns are normal. Think of reselling on eBay. Don't sweat it. If you do, you're already losing the game. All right, guys, I know you're gonna say this, Pete, why are you doing this? Why are you spreading this message? Now the market is gonna get flooded. No, guys, it never does. Yes, some people will go out and try this. Like I always say, 90% of the people never act on this. The 10% they do, they quit after 3 weeks, and the 5% will actually benefit. So I'm talking really to that 5% that it's watching. All right, let a kick in the butt, get out and do it. My main message is, a lot of people ask me, guys, all the time, what can I do to improve my business? Stuff is not selling. That's why I'm sharing this, because this is stuff that it's trending and potentially you can make quite a bit of money, and it's widely available. You can find this stuff really everywhere. Think about it now. Maybe you don't pay attention as you're walking through thrift stores, but how many VCRs you see at the garage sales? How many tape decks you see all the time at Salvation Army or Goodwill or any thrift stores? Ton. And just educate yourself how to test this equipment, and I'm telling you, there's a ton of money to be made of these, and people are lazy, don't want to ship and pack them. That's the advantage as well for you. Try it. A killer profits laying everywhere, and people are not taking advantage of it. I know some of you guys gonna say, Pete, why are you giving this information? You should be charging for it. Absolutely not, guys. Some people just need help and need to hear and find out about this. There's a lot of sellers that reach out all the time to me. How can I help? How can I help? How can I twitch and change their business? Here it is. You don't have to be out there paying for this information. I'm gladly deliver it, for free. I don't need to have you joining some crazy Facebook group that you need to pay up for it, or please pay for my Patreon and be part of my secret group so I can teach you. This is all baloney, okay? I don't need to make money like this. I make plenty of money running my actual reselling business. I'm doing very well, okay? So here it is for those, who gonna hate, let them hate, whatever. Guys, if you have any questions or comments, drop them below. I'm also gonna leave my email link. If you have any other questions about this kind of stuff, you can reach out and talk to me. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed this kind of video. I hope you did. I hope you learned something. I hope you can run out in 2018 and start buying some of this stuff. Now, there's lots of trends like this. Not only this, you just gotta, look for them. Not only in electronics, there's different niches that are trending all the time. You just gotta find them and figure out what goes, what moves. So the only thing I ask for you guys, if you did enjoy this video, like I said, thumbs up, please share it, click the share button. Maybe somebody wants to learn about something like this. Share it, send it to them. Appreciate you guys watching. Till next time, cheers.
Got a secret, can you keep it? Swear this one you save. Better lock it in your pocket, taking this one to the grave. Got a secret, can you keep it? Swear